If you're a young software professional here in India, you're probably feeling it, right? The ground is definitely shifting beneath our feet. The rise of AI is changing, well, just about everything. And today, we're going to tackle a really critical question. What does this all mean for your career and maybe even more importantly, for your wallet? Let's get into it.
Okay, this is the big one. The question that's probably keeping a lot of us up at night, isn't it? Will AI take my job? Look, it's a totally valid fear, and instead of just guessing, we're going to look at some real hard data to understand what's actually happening in the software industry right now. So let's start with a number that might be a little jarring, -13%. A recent pretty big study out of Stanford found that there's been a 13% drop in employment for early career software engineers, specifically in roles that are highly exposed to AI. This isn't just a guess, it's a real trend backed by data. That entry point into our profession, it's getting tighter. So what's actually driving that 13% drop? Well, this quote right here just nails it. AI is getting really good at automating the exact kind of boilerplate coding and basic tasks that have always been the training ground for new developers. You know, that first rung on the ladder where you learn the ropes, it's kind of being removed. And that fundamentally changes how a software career even begins. So, the real question is, how do we respond? That's what this is all about. We'll start by really understanding the job market shakeup. Then, we're going to shift focus to what you can actually control, your financial future. We'll cover building your foundation, creating smart habits, building a moat around your income, and we'll wrap it all up with a clear, actionable plan for resilience. All right, let's get a really clear picture of this new reality. It's not about jobs just vanishing overnight. It's more about a huge restructuring of what skills are actually valuable in this age of AI. And this right here is the great divide that's happening. You see, on one side, traditional software engineering roles are actually declining. But, and this is the important part, look at the other side. Roles that integrate AI skills are absolutely booming, with over 40% growth. The message couldn't be clearer. The future isn't just about writing code, it's about using AI to solve bigger and bigger problems. So here's the crucial point. We just can't play by the old rules anymore. Panicking about AI, that's not going to help. But ignoring it, that's even worse. The only real path forward is to adapt our strategy, both in our careers and, just as importantly, in our personal finances. And that brings us to the real solution. In a world with this much career uncertainty, your job title isn't going to save you. You know what will? The ultimate security comes from the financial system you build for yourself. This is how we move from fear to control.
You know, if you've been feeling stressed or just kind of disillusioned about your career path lately, you are definitely not alone. There's actually a term for this, career nihilism. It's that feeling you get when a sector feels super lucrative one day and then kind of obsolete the next. And it's a recognized stressor for a massive 75% of young professionals. But just recognizing this is the very first step to building a defense against it.
So, how do we build that defense? Well, it all starts with a rock-solid financial foundation. And this isn't about getting rich quick, not at all. It's about creating a personal safety net that protects you from all the volatility in the industry. And the cornerstone of this whole foundation is your emergency fund. Now, the old advice used to be 3 to 6 months of expenses, but honestly, for the tech industry today, that's just not enough. You really need to be aiming for 6 to 12 months. This gives you that breathing room if you face a layoff or if you just need some time to reskill. And the key is to make it real. Open a totally separate account so you're not tempted to touch it and automate your savings. Just treat it like another bill you have to pay.
Next up are your 2 non-negotiable shields. And please, whatever you do, do not mix these up with investments. Term insurance is not for you. It's a financial shield for your parents, your spouse, or anyone who depends on your income. Health insurance, on the other hand, is for you. It protects your hard-earned savings from being completely wiped out by a single medical emergency, especially when you consider that medical inflation in India is running as high as 15%.
Okay, so once your defenses are up, it's time to go on the offense. This part is all about engineering your wealth with the same kind of systematic approach you use to write code. It's all about building smart, repeatable habits.
A fantastic place to start is the 50-30-20 rule. It's such a simple but powerful framework. 50% of your take-home pay goes to your absolute needs, like rent and food. 30% goes to your wants, the fun stuff. And a full 20%, this part is non-negotiable. It goes directly into your savings and investments. This simple discipline is the engine of wealth creation. Now, I have to warn you about the biggest trap for young professionals with growing salaries: lifestyle inflation. It's just so easy to let your spending rise right along with your income. But if you do that, you'll never actually build any wealth. The goal is to make sure your savings rate grows as your income does. So every single time you get a raise, the first thing you should do is increase the amount you automatically invest.
So why is starting early so incredibly critical? I can tell you in 2 words: compound interest. It is the most powerful force in finance, period. The money you invest in your 20s, even if it feels like a small amount, is the money that works the absolute hardest for your future. Just think of it like a marathon, and getting a head start is the single biggest advantage you can possibly have.
All right, to truly make your finances resilient, you need to build a moat. And in personal finance, a moat basically means not being dependent on a single paycheck from one single job. And as a developer, your skills are your biggest asset for building these income streams. I mean, think about it. You can build specialized AI tools that solve a really niche problem. You could create a micro SaaS product that brings in recurring revenue. You can create tutorials or courses teaching what you already know. The point is, you're not just trading your time for money anymore. You're building assets that work for you.
And let's connect this right back to your main job. Upskilling in AI isn't just about job security, it's about a direct financial reward. The data clearly shows that engineers with proven AI skills can command a salary premium of anywhere from 18 to 35%. So budgeting for your own professional development, it's not an expense, it's one of the highest return investments you can possibly make in yourself.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground, from the big market shifts to the defensive and offensive financial strategies. Let's pull it all together into a clear, simple, actionable plan you can literally start today.
Here it is. This is your checklist for financial resilience. Number 1, build that 6 to 12-month emergency fund. Number 2, secure your 2 non-negotiable shields, term and health insurance. 3, automate your finances using the 50-30-20 rule. 4, actively budget for upskilling in AI. And finally, number 5, start exploring at least one of those passive income ideas. This is how you take control back.
And I'll leave you with this final thought. You spend your days designing elegant, robust, and future-proof systems. The real question is, are you applying that same level of intelligence and foresight to the most important system you will ever build, your own financial life? Thanks for watching.